Hello and welcome to episode 10 of the Breaking Yarn podcast. Today is Saturday, June 5th, 2021. My name is Mikaylee. I'm a crocheter, knitter, yarn dyer here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. You can find me online at breakingyarn.com or anywhere on social media at Breaking Yarn. Today I have a lot of projects. I have a half finished object. And I have another project that you haven't even seen yet that I started and I'm near completion on it. I have a few new yarns that I received in the mail to share with you. And I'm gonna do, and I have a finished object from the community to share. And I'm also gonna do a giveaway at the end of this episode, so please stick around to see how to enter for that. My first object, I guess it's my half finished object, is a sock. Look, I did it. I knit a sock. Ah! It's not blocked. The ends are, excuse me, the ends aren't woven in or anything, but it's done. Look at this. This is my share a pair sock that I knit with my friend Leah. Leah Loves to Knit on Instagram. And I did, so the yarn is by Mandy's Makings. And this is the Mardi Gras beads colorway. And the base is 70% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 10% silver stellina. So you can see the color there. It's like this nice multicolored purple and then a gray. And I did the heels, toes, and cuffs all in the gray. And then I did 3 rows of the purpley and 1 row of the gray for a striping. I wanted to make sure I would have enough gray to do matching heels, toes, and cuffs. I did the pattern, it's Vanilla Socks on 9-inch circulars by Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady. I followed her pattern and tutorial on her video tutorial on YouTube. And I did, let's see, everything. So I think I did 15 rounds for the cuff. I did 50 rounds for the leg. I did a slip stitch heel flap, heel turn, and gusset on the heel. And then I did, I don't know if I'm supposed to start counting. So here's where I started my heel, right? Am I supposed to start counting at the gusset decreases for how many I had to do for my foot? Like, I'm not sure about that. But if that's the case, I did 85 rounds on the foot, and then I started the toe in the gray again. So that's what I did. I wear a size 8.5. Or 9 in women's, depending on the shoe style. And I don't know if that's a lot or if I'm not supposed to count starting there or I count after gusset decreases or how that works, but that's what I did. Last episode I had already done my heel and some of the foot, and so I finished off the foot and the toe. And so that's my half finished object. And then I'm this far on my second sock already. So I did cuffs again, same number for the leg. I did the same heel with the gray. And then now I'm on the foot, and I think I've done around 65 rounds so far. So I have about 20 rounds left on the foot and then the heel, and I will be done. This second sock I think is already looking a lot better than the first one, even at the transitions where I'm switching my colors. It's a lot more smooth. I started using, I don't know if you're supposed to do this anyways, but kind of the intarsia method of switching colors where you pull the color you were working with all the way to the left, and then you take the new color that you're gonna start working with up and under it, so they kind of do like a crisscross going up. And I think it looks really like smooth on the inside. So I'm already improving on my technique here. I am still using 9-inch circulars on ChowGoo red lace. I have the little sock set, so it comes with different length, 3 inches and 2 inches on the needles, and I started using a 3-inch on my right hand needle and the 2-inch on my left hand needle. I'm a thrower, and that seems to be really comfortable for me for getting through this. I might experiment with other techniques and things on my next pair of socks, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But so far so good on this. I hope to have these done soon. I really wanted to have them done before the start of summer sock camp, which was on June 1st. But I just didn't get it all the way finished. So I haven't started socks for summer sock camp yet because I wanted to get these done and off my needles first. So that's that. I still have a little bit of the purple, which is good because I still have 20 rounds left to do. And then I still have I actually have a lot of the gray, but I still need to do the toe. So I think it will work out where I have enough to do exactly what I wanted to do with the matching and with the striping. Yeah, it's working out well, so I'm happy with that. That's my first half finished object, half and 3/4 really. It's like pretty close here. So my next work in progress, I'm using a bag by Carrie of Stolen Minutes. And this is one you have not seen yet, but it's almost done. And this is, I'm doing a test knit for Krista of Knitty Knits. And this is the Mesa Verde cowl. And I have, I think, 7 more rounds to go of the patterning, and then I need to do this edge on the other half up here. So I'm very close to the end. When I saw that Krista put this out as a call for a test, I was like, oh, I want to do that so bad. I love the zigzags. It's like so fun. I love using 2 colors on cowls. I thought it would be a good way to use up some yarn. This is DK weight yarn, which I love using too, and I just couldn't pass up the opportunity. So surprise, I added another whip to my pile, but it's okay. Some of them are really close to being done, and I will have more space to take on new projects. So the yarn I'm using for this is from my shop. It's Swish DK base. And my main color is Gray Matter. And then the contrasting color is Breaking Black, which is really fun. It has a lot of deep purples and blacks and greens and a little bit of like a, I don't know, like a light tealish green. And it just like has a really fun color to it. So that's that. This is my first time doing a cable with just 1 or 2 stitches. I guess it's technically 2 stitches because I don't think you can cable with just 1 stitch. But so a 2 cable stitch. But I just love how it made this like a zigzaggy pattern, and it's going to be a really fun cowl. Yeah, I'm really excited for that. Look out for that. I'm not sure exactly when it's releasing yet, but I will let you know. Next episode, when I finish it and share it with you, I can hopefully have all the details by then of when it's gonna come out. And I am using my ChowGoo red lace interchangeable set, and this is a 16-inch that I am currently knitting on. So this is a fun project, and I'm using, my husband just got a new iPad, so he gave me his old one, and I'm using the iPad. Instead of printing out the pattern and marking off each round, I am using the iPad to mark it off. So I think it's good because it's keeping me, I guess, current on technology a little bit more, and then figuring out new and efficient ways to follow my patterns. So that's fun. I may do a video of how I do that, kind of my workflow for that, because I think it would be helpful to other people without having like any extra programs. Like you don't need to have, what is it, Knit Companion or anything like that. Like you don't need any extra apps to do it, and you can just do it natively on the app, or on the iPad, on the iPad. So I'll have to show you that. In a separate video or something. And this is what I have left for my yarn so far. My main color, Gray Matter, and my contrasting color, Breaking Black. So we'll see how much I have left of those. And yeah, that's my Mesa Verde Cowl by Krista of Knitsy Knits. So keep an eye out for that. Follow her on Instagram so that you can get the exact release if my next podcast doesn't come out before then. Okay, my next whip that I was trying really hard to get done is in a bag by Jenny of Mountain State Stitches. And it is my crocheted Playtime Shawl. This is a pattern by Natalie of Knitty Natty. And it's a crocheted shawl, and there are 2 sections that you repeat multiple times. So you have lots of ends to weave in here. Usually, I think in her main pattern, she just uses one color, and then she has another version where it was like a 2-toned one that she did, and I really liked the 2-tone, but I chose to do mine a little different from what she even did in that. So I started up here. I'm using Pink Teddy Bear in my sock fingering base, and Lily of the Valley also in sock fingering. I wanted to see how the sock fingering would do crocheting a shawl, or something other than socks. So I'm just really curious about that. So I started up here with just the pink teddy bear, and then I did the crisscross sections in Lily of the Valley. I think that the crisscrosses, originally I had these colors switched, where I was doing the Lily of the Valley up here and the pink teddy bear as the crisscross sections. It just got lost, and I really wanted them to stand out since it's the main part of the pattern that's like really cool. So this is what I did, and I'll put these notes on my Ravelry page linked down below as well in case you want to save it or look for it later. So I started with pink teddy bear, then I did the crisscross sections in Lily of the Valley, and then the next section, instead of doing just the solid pink teddy bear, I striped the pink teddy bear and the Lily of the Valley together, and then another crisscross section, and then I did another solid section right here, and then the Lily of the Valley, and then I striped them, and now I'm on the final section before the border, and it's just solid pink teddy bear. So if you choose to do a 2-color Playtime shawl like this, it works out perfect to do the striping because it's 5 repeats, and you stripe it starting opposite colors of your 2 crisscross sections. So it worked out perfect. I didn't have to do any finagling to get it to be every other and then go straight into the crisscross section, which I think is it's just perfect. And I love the stripes. I love stripes, if you can't tell, right? If you can't tell. So that's what I did. I'm very close to the end. I am actually on my last 2 rounds on the main solid color here, and then I will do the bauble border that she has on there. I've never done bauble before, but it'll be fun and exciting. And you know, I'm not as nervous about ripping out crochet because it's pretty easy. You just, okay, there was one stitch right there. On knitting, it's like much more complicated, to me at least. But this is my first time crocheting a shawl or anything that wasn't like a shape like amigurumi or a blanket or something like that. So it's exciting to me how it's turning out, and I can't wait to have it done, and it'll be really fun. I need to block it, I think maybe pretty aggressively. We'll have to see, because it's kind of, I feel like it's kind of still small, and this is the large version of the shawl. So if you want to do the small version, I think you stop up here before doing the next crisscross section and the last border section. So that would have been really small, I think. And I still have a pretty decent amount. I haven't weighed this, but I have a pretty decent amount of my pink teddy bear left, and I only have 2 rows left, so I'll have some of that left over. And then my lily of the valley mess that I had last week ended up being 2 little balls that I'm working from, and I still have a little bit of yarn barf that I just haven't wound up. I don't know, I got frustrated. Like, I was like, I'm wasting so much time winding this yarn, and I probably don't even need this much yarn. So I have that in my bag just in case, but I have these 2 balls that should be more than, one of these should be more than enough for the border, so I'm not concerned. But I will wind it eventually, just aren't right now. And I think I've decided that I can't pull from the center. I even switched this ball to be from the outer, even though I was doing center pull on this one. I switched it to being outer because it's just working a little better that way. I don't know what's wrong with me. Okay, so that's my Playtime shawl, and I hope to have that done by next episode as well. I was really trying to get these all kind of done and off my needle, so I just had a bunch of finished objects to share with you, because it's been 3 weeks since I've recorded last, but that's okay. They're all really close to being done, which I think is, you know, it's good. I just didn't meet any goals that I had. Okay, so my last work in progress that I have, I believe, yes, my last work in progress is in a bag that I have from Fate's Threads, and I started, let me show you this pattern. I started the Beak Street Tee that I'm knitting in Tarja. This is by Bridget Pupio, and this is in a book, Vertex Color Block Projects by Knit Picks. I will link it down below. I believe you can also just purchase the pattern, so I will put that down below as well in case you're interested in just the Beak Street Tee. So I've decided to do the exact colors, and I think I talked about this last episode about the new red color that I have. This is called Bleeding Out. It has not come to the shop just yet, but it will soon, so keep an eye out for that. And this is the progress that I have made on my project. So the way that you knit this shirt is you knit it front panel, back panel, and then you seam them together. And it's done in Tarja. So it's done flat, and it's done within Tarja method of changing colors. So it's new to me, but I started practicing on my sock just so I can get in the habit of doing that. But this is what I've done so far. It's just the seed stitch on the bottom. So this will be at the very bottom of the shirt. You can't even see it because it's too low, but it'll be at the very bottom of the shirt. And then I will start doing the intarsia with the stripes soon. I wanted to get more done on this, so I had more to show, but I just kind of focused on those other projects to see if I could get them done. So yeah, this is actually my first time doing seed stitch, and I don't mind it. It was pretty meditative to me, but I was always like grateful and like could take a deep breath when I got to the end of the row and it was the right stitch I was supposed to do. I was like, oh good, because I in my head I'm like purl, knit, like left, right, like I don't know, I just make up these little mantras while I'm doing it, and when I'd get to the end and it was the right knit or purl at the end, I'd be like, oh good, phew. Okay, I didn't mess up somewhere. So yeah, so that's fun. I am going to be using, oh, and this is all on my quarter round fingering base, and I'm going to be using Lily of the Valley again and Jane Margolis so that I can stripe them, and then my pop of color is the red, and I am obsessed with this color combination. I can't wait to see it come together, and hopefully I can knit it before the end of summer. I think so. I think it'll go fast. I'm also using my Chowgu red lace. I have the interchangeable set. It works for everything. I'll link that down below in case you're interested in checking it out. I am an affiliate for Amazon, so if you decide to look or purchase from my link, I will earn a small commission from Amazon for sharing that with you. But that's that. That's my Beak Street Tea so far. Doesn't look like much of a tea, but hopefully soon once I can get these other projects done and off my needles or hook, I will really put in a lot of time on this before starting too many other projects. So that's those. I have two purchases that I made and I wanted to share them with you. I traded Teresa from Pretty Twisted Yarns for some yarn of mine for some yarn of hers. She has this self-striping yarn with a coordinating mini on the Lush base. It's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 463 yards, and the colorway is K, which is inspired by Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady. And I am really excited to try self-striping yarn. I have all of the admiration and like, I don't even know what the right word is to say, but I really look up to self-striping dyers because that's a lot of extra work, okay? I don't know if you realize, but in order to get the color runs that are like 5 or more rows or whatever, they have to unskein this like really big so that they can dye those sections to be that many rounds. So they do that first, then they dye them all in separate like jars or pots or whatever, and then they have to reskein it so that it's in a normal circle so that you can put it on your Swift and wind it up. So it's like 2 extra steps for self-dyeing or self-striping dyers. So I have tons of respect, mad respect for you guys. Thank you so much to Teresa from Pretty Twisted Yarns for trading with me. I'm so excited to try her yarn, and I am thinking this will be my first cast on for Summer Sock Camp 2021. So, and I want to try shorties too. So if you have good shorty patterns, let me know. Yeah, so I'm really excited for that. I can't wait to start that. After I get my other socks done, I will be starting those. And I have one more yarns that I purchased. It says self-striping again. This is the zebra self-stripe. It's black and white stripes with a red contrasting mini. This is from Anna. I'll link her Instagram down below. I think she just started an Etsy shop, I think. I will link that down below if she did. If not, you just message her on Instagram and she will coordinate with you through PayPal to get money. But this is fingering weight, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, And okay, obviously I'm obsessed. I saw this from Carrie of Stolen Minutes. She had mentioned Anna on her podcast and also on her Instagram. And I thought, oh my gosh, I could have socks that match my Beak Street Tee, since I was already doing the red, white, and black combination with the striping. I thought that would be so fun to have a shirt and a pair of socks that match. So I couldn't help myself, and I purchased this from Anna. So I'm excited to get started on those as well after I do my Pretty Twisted Yarns socks. So that's all that I purchased. Again, I just adore self-striping yarn dyers because of the extra work that it takes to wind it all back up and get it all back into its original order. That's a lot of labor. So, you know, don't ever complain about the high prices because it's a lot of work. And Lord knows, I don't do self-striping yarn. So, yeah, so that's that. Okay, so I have a finished object from the community to share with you guys, and this one is so good. Okay, this one is, let me pull it up here. This is a knitted tank top by Mary. She knit this top called Charlotte, and it's in a book, Knitted Tanks and Tunics. That's where the pattern came from. She knit a size small. She used worsted weight in breaking black, and she knit she used just under 2 skeins of the yarn for it. And I think, yeah, so the worsted weight yarn is 220 yards per 100 grams, and she used just under 2 for the size small. So pretty good. It looks amazing. I just like fell in love with this. I love the way the colors pool, and I've been curious because I hear different things about people liking pooling or not liking pooling, and I want to know, do you like pooling? Do you try to avoid pooling? What are your favorite techniques to avoid pooling? If you don't want that, do you alternate skeins? Do you do the helical method? Like, what do you like to do? Or does it bother you? Like, I personally love the way it looks. I think it's really unique. It makes it special, and no 2 pieces will ever be exactly the same, but I know a lot of people don't like it, so I'm kind of curious about you. What do you think? So that concludes my content for episode 10. I do want to do a giveaway for a gift card from my shop, breakingyarn.com. So all you do to enter for that is to comment down below. Please make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. And if you want to get notifications for when I put out a new video or a new podcast episode, make sure you hit the little bell so that you get notified of that as well. Thank you so much for joining me on episode 10 of the Breaking Yarn podcast. I hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time.